have a trans question. Is this a trans question for me, or is this a trans
It's my own trans question that I have. I remember hearing something about when I first started HRT, my doctor told me something about magnesium and how the body is affected by magnesium. And I can't remember if it's the HRT meds make it so we have problems taking in magnesium or we have too much of it. It's one or the other. And if you want to remember which one it is, because I have magnesium pills. I don't want to take them if I'm already like on a surplus of magnesium.
You got too much magnesium.
It says HRT may help prevent the loss of this mineral. So I don't need to take magnesium pills.
Don't need to supplement your magnesium.
One more positive thing about HRT, just keeps your magnesium levels prim and proper.
That's great. I mean, magnesium is so important.
One more good thing.
I don't know what magnesium does, but got to have them levels right.
I don't know either, but I know you want it.
Is magnesium the little strip that you can start on fire?
Yes. I mean, it's an element. Magnesium's a metal, I think. I may be completely wrong about that. I haven't studied chemistry in a very long time, and I didn't do that well at it when I did.
Oh, I did not pay attention at all. It's amazing I graduated high school.
Atomic number 12, it's in the S block.
It assists in the movement of calcium and potassium across cell membranes. Magnesium plays a mighty role in promoting normal nerve cell communication, muscle contraction, and a normal heart rhythm.
I like those things.
Yeah. Sources of magnesium: almonds, spinach, cashews.
The name is derived from Magnesia, a district east of eastern Thessaly in Greece.
I think we just.
You want to live in Magnesia, or would you prefer Lesbos?
I mean, I think we'd all prefer to live in Lesbos.
I'm gonna go live in Lesbos.
That would be like a cartoon, like some guy's so excited about living in Magnesia, and then he hears about Lesbos, and he's like, "Shit,
I fucked up.
I fucked up big time." Well, maybe this podcast is now the etymology of chemistry terms.
We can see where all the periodic elements of the periodic table, their names derive from.
Yeah.
Where do you think Einsteinium comes from?
When Einstein died, they pulled it out of his body.
Yeah, exactly. Albert Einstein was the sole source of Einsteinium.
Is this your bit? You want to come and talk about magnesium?
It's not my bit. My bit is. Do we want to jump right into the bits?
I'm like, hey, let's just introduce the show. This is Being Trans with Lilith and Amanda. Yeah, you like that, and
I like it. I always like when the show gets introduced. That's why I interrupted it just then.
I really just need like a sheet of paper here that is everything I need to do in every episode, so that I don't forget. Like 9:00 on a Sunday night, we'll finish recording, and like 6 hours later, I'll be like, oh shoot. Did we introduce the show, or did we just start talking like a couple of dipshits?
We do that,
but sometimes often. We just hit the ground running. And if you're clicking on it and listening to it, you know what the podcast is.
It just kind of falls into place.
Yeah,
like magic.
Like Being Trans, it just comes together.
Yeah, no effort involved.
No effort involved at all.
It just happens.
It just happens. I mean, being trans did just happen. Now, living my life, living my best life as a trans person took some work.
Yeah. Treating it, not so much.
Yeah, a little effort involved. How's everyone doing today? This is Being Trans with Lilith and Amanda. I'm Lilith Darling. That's Amanda Bonanza. And we're here to have fun and answer questions and help all the trans people out there have a better time being trans and remove those doubts and assuage those fears. I hope I pronounced that right.
I think you did. It sounded right to me.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, assuage is a nice one. That's a nice little addition there.
Yeah. Right, there's like a little desk calendar.
I'll see what I can't bring to the table.
That just happens to be the word of the day.
As far as fancy college words go.
Ooh. I mean, I have a plethora of college words at my disposal.
What? Color me impressed.
I actually learned that one in high school.
My standard high school words.
Yeah, Milwaukee Public Schools didn't let me down.
I'm sorry, some college words.
You got to be famous enough so that some college claims you as an alumni. Like schools do that. They're like, that person went here for 2 semesters. Like John Hamm is a Mizzou student. It's like he was a student for like a year and a half, and then he dropped out.
He was on campus at a party once.
Yeah, he showed up with his big hog and his perfect hair, and he was just like,
oh my God. Speaking of perfect looking men, I was watching this show. It's a British show called Would I Lie to You?
Yeah.
It's this panel show, and I was watching an episode from back in the day, and they had this guest on that was like this doctor guy.
Yeah.
And this guy was the single best looking man I've ever seen. He was just like fit, but not overly bulky. He just had that John Hamm handsomeness. And then, of course, he's a doctor. So it's like, whoa, dude, like, how is this guy not the most famous person in the world? Because, like, fuck, did he look at it? I am not the biggest fan of men, like in a sexual way, but I'm not made of stone.
So I saw someone this weekend, and I'm going to tell you this, and you have to let me talk, and I don't want to hear any judgment. I don't want to hear any comment. I don't want to feel judged by you. But
okay, I'm refraining from judgment. Starting now.
The first sentence out of my mouth, you're going to start judging me. So last night, I'm watching the latest Fast and the Furious movie.
No judgment. I love that.
And Jason Momoa is in it. But he's playing it like those guys in those movies take it way too seriously. Like Vin Diesel acts like he's in like some sort of Oscar-winning movie. It's just like you're just in a dumb adventure movie. And so Jason Momoa comes in and plays the whole thing like he's the Joker dropped in the middle of a James Bond movie. Jason Momoa is becoming this queer icon before my very eyes. He's got like painted nails. He's got like big rocky rings. He's just flamboyant as all shit. And I'm like, I would watch every movie he was in if he played it like this.
Jason Momoa is not gay, is he?
You say gay, I say queer. Makes him queer. Doesn't make him gay.
Yeah, whatever I meant. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, is he into dudes like at all? Like, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past anyone.
He just has to be queer. You don't have to. It doesn't matter what you're into if you're queer.
I don't know. I guess that's true. I guess it's a pretty broad, it's a pretty big tent. That's like Nancy Pelosi's Democratic Party.
Oh, yeah. Huge tent. We have room for
plenty of room for Republicans. That's how
we have plenty of room for centrist Republicans and Democrats who work the system. Remember a few months ago we did the bit about how to cool off, and it was like cold air on your legs.
Yeah.
I feel great. Oh my God, what a relief this is.
It was a great bit, and it was like great advice. Did you sleep with a wet blanket like Cleopatra?
No, I don't. I mean, it wasn't wet when I went to bed.
Did you have a water balloon fight in your kitchen? Did you watch a movie with snow in it?
Yeah, I watched The Thing and felt completely refreshed.
I know. That's
they were at Ice Station Zebra. Yeah.
That Antarctic station.
And then when it felt too cold, they pulled out that flamethrower and burned that alien. It was like, wow, I feel perfect right now. I mean, what if we just started beef with like other YouTube, influencers?
I hate that. I don't want to do that. I want to be friends with all the YouTube influencers. I want to be their friends so that we can make money. I love every YouTuber.
Yeah.
All of them.
Danny Gonzalez, where are you? Danny Gonzalez, come work with us. I don't know who
that is.
Danny Gonzalez is adorable.
Is he a cute one?
I mean, they're all kind of adorable.
Well, the YouTubers.
The ones I watch.
I've had some pretty repulsive YouTubers.
I stay on a pretty superficial level when it comes to YouTube. Today, we're going to look at the top 10 secrets of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, lots of gamer guys.
Number 1, you can ride horses. Did you know that in Red Dead Redemption 2, you have the ability to ride horses? I mean, we pivot to that.
Honestly, simple gaming fact, it might be a thing that I end up doing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, because I dove into when I was doing my follow-up mods, guys dove into the gaming YouTube community and the follow-up modding community. And there were some that were just phenomenally good. And then there were others that were just like, how do you have a channel? And why do you have 1.3 million followers? Like, you're terrible at this. So I don't know the secret.
I'm going to topless mind stream Dark Souls, and we'll just go from there.
I don't think you can do that on YouTube, baby. You have to go to OnlyFans.
I don't have a camera, so the fact that I'm topless is.
You're just going to talk about being. You don't have a camera, so this is like an artist rendition of you.
Yeah, this is an animation. This is being animated live as I'm talking to you.
This is AI generated.
Can't I just topless on Twitch? Is Twitch all twitchy about that? I'm real honest. If I'm playing video games and showing my tits, probably more people just interested in watching my tits than caring about the video game. So
I'd say it's to be a 50-50 split, really. Quite honestly, not to knock your tits, but like I'm just saying, I know the gaming community. I don't want to talk about our tits anymore. I want to talk about.
Let me write down in this in my journal. This is a big day.
Tit talk is out the door.
All right, what do you want to talk about? You got something for me?
Is it question time or is it too early for questions?
I mean, I can jump into a question. I if you got something you want to talk about.
What
the fuck was that?
I got a bit.
Oh, you got a bit. Oh, cool.
The name of this bit is Who's That Turkey?
Oh, that was supposed to be a turkey. Okay.
That's a turkey. That's a turkey interrupting our show to tell us who's that turkey. So here's how this.
If you say that was a turkey, I'll believe you.
That's what turkey sounds like. Have you ever heard a turkey? It doesn't sound like that.
Doesn't sound like it at all.
What does a turkey sound like?
They say gobble gobble.
Yeah, that's a gobble gobble. That's what a turkey sounds like. Yeah.
If you would have said,
that's way better than my version.
Hey, let's save this for our third podcast, Turkey Talk on TikTok. Hey man, let me tell you something. We're going to go out turkey hunting today. You going on a turkey shoot, you need two things. You need a good turkey call, you need a good turkey rifle. Right? And so I think it all starts with a good turkey call. And what I got here, Henderson 185 turkey call. And that's going to get you all your tom turkeys that you're going to need if you want to put on a throwdown at Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? All right, thank you. I'm done. You can cut. You're going to cut that. I think it was brilliant. I thought it was great.
So one.
I hope that was long enough that could just go on our TikTok titled "Turkey Talk on TikTok."
I think it can. I think it absolutely can. I will make it. I'll drag it out. I'll stretch it to mid 22-second mark. All right. So the name of this segment is Who's That Turkey? So what's going to happen is I have 3 public figures.
Yeah.
And I am going to tell you 3 facts about them, 1 fact at a time. And based on the facts about these public figures, you have to name the public figure. Pretty straightforward.
Is one of them Donald Trump Jr.?
I'm not going to tell you who any of them are. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you what their gender is. It's going to be they're all going to be they thems.
So just so you know, I've moved beyond gender when it comes to anything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Our first turkey hasn't. According to the Center for Countering Digital Hate in the Human Rights Campaign, they are among the top 3 Twitter users who spread the hateful and damaging false groomer attack. Allegedly, they are proud of their mention on the list and strive to be number 1. Who's that turkey?
That sounds like Charlie Kirk.
That is not Charlie Kirk. It is not Charlie Kirk. You want to? Okay, we'll try again.
No. Okay. Let me think.
Do you want to think and guess again, or should we move on to the next?
I feel like I'm going to lose my. I think I'm going to. Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
In July 2022, they tweeted, "Quote: When you use pronouns to introduce yourself, I'm assuming everything you have to say after is as idiotic as your introduction."
Oh, that's got to be Matt Walsh.
No, I'm afraid it is not Matt Walsh. These aren't. Okay, this one I think you'll be able to get.
This is crazy.
This one should narrow it down. This is. All right. It's like you've got a lot to choose from here. There's a lot.
I mean, there is a lot. There is a lot, but even you would admit we are in Walsh Kirk territory. This is okay. This is rarefied air. Whoever this is.
So to narrow down this turkey.
Yeah.
In September 2023, they were ejected from a live performance of Beetlejuice for loudly singing along, video recording the performance, and vaping in front of a pregnant woman.
Just to add to this, also fondling her boyfriend's genitals and having her breast fondled. That's my least favorite person in the world, Lauren Boebert.
That is, in fact, Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Yes.
Yeah. What a piece of garbage.
Boebert. Yes. That is the turkey. Congratulations.
Yeah, I know.
You get 1 turkey point.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's 1 turkey. That's a Tom turkey for all your Thanksgiving needs. All right.
So you're going to get, here's how the scoring system is going to work. So, like, if you get it on the first guess, that's 3 points. Second guess, 2 points. Last guess, 1 point. So you now have 1 point. But you did name the turkey. Lauren Boebert is the turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next turkey.
Yeah.
The DVD commentary of their 2005 cult classic movie consisted of them smoking a cigar and quietly watching the movie while occasionally commenting about how great it was.
Fuck. I know. I've heard this one, and now I'm blanking who it is. God damn it. Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, I'm afraid not. It is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm thinking of a different turkey here. Moving on.
All right.
In a video clip of a live performance, they are captured offering to take home one of the ladies in the audience, but only under the condition that they must be 18 or older. So
live performance. This must be some sort of stand-up comic.
It was a person that did a live performance.
Yeah. All I can think of is live performance, people who smoke cigars. All I can think of is Bill Cosby.
Well, it's not that turkey.
I knew it wasn't. He's a turkey.
You are warmer.
You're
warm. You're not there, but it's not Bill Cosby. That's a different turkey. But your turkey guesses are pretty good. So I think you might be able to get it by this one.
Insisting that they were over 18 was probably something that should have made you realize it's not Bill Cosby.
It's not Bill Cosby. In 2022, they were sentenced to 30 years in prison after being found guilty of 8 counts of sex trafficking and 1 of racketeering in a New York court.
Oh, is that Harvey Weinstein?
Oh, no, I'm afraid you're not going to get any turkey points today. We were looking for R. Kelly. This is R. Kelly.
Ah. You know what? The movie thing.
Cult classic movie was Trapped in a Closet, and in the DVD commentary, it is literally him sitting in a chair, smoking a cigar, watching the movie with you, and occasionally being, "Man, that was good. That was good right there."
As much as I hate that's a Lilith move on that DVD commentary.
I don't like the sex trafficking and the pedophilia, not one bit. But Trapped in the Closet is a phenomenal thing that happened. It's kind of hard sometimes to separate the art from the artist, but I don't know that I would watch Trapped in the Closet again, but I'm glad I did when I did.
I have not listened to Ignition, the remix, in years.
All right, so we have 1 turkey point. 1 turkey point.
I mean, that's all you need for a good Thanksgiving throwdown.
That's true. So let's see if we can make it a double header and add Christmas to the bonus. So here we go.
Okay.
Our next turkey.
Yeah.
In 2010, they fled with their spouse to Canada to avoid facing charges for vandalism and squatting in California after refusing to leave the house that they sold in 2007.
That's Randy Quaid.
That is, in fact, Randy Quaid. Ding, ding, ding. 3 turkey points for Randy Quaid.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, who's that turkey? Is Lilith had 4 turkey points. I don't know what that's redeemable for. I feel like you can get a whole frozen turkey from Whole Foods, and also I don't know if a rifle. You might not qualify a rifle but for that a good turkey call.
Yeah. What were the other Randy Quaid turkey messages?
Okay, well, we'll go through them. Though they are a multimillionaire, they live out of their car. But according to them, only on nights when we're too terrified to leave our stuff or don't feel secure.
That's also obviously Randy Quaid.
And that this whole ordeal has forced us to become incredibly green, and Priuses are deceptively roomy.
They are. You put them back seats down.
This is what I love.
Back there, no problem.
This is what I love. Randy Quaid, number 3. Canada was not their first choice. They claimed that they wanted to drive to Siberia from Santa Barbara, but they couldn't figure out how to get there.
That's a thought.
That's a doozy of a turkey right there. That is 1 turkey, ladies and gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary.
The first person in history to want to go to Siberia. That's like the great, one of the greatest threats of the last century was getting sent to Siberia. I mean, my plan of escape is to get sent to my bedroom without supper.
Drive there in my Prius.
I'm gonna drive there in my Prius. Well, I mean, it is a long drive, so you're gonna want to save on gas mileage, and that's gonna do it.
Ooh.
Can you drive just over the North Pole? Can you just do like a whoop?
Can't do it. There's no roads that go over the North Pole.
Yeah, but it's all solid. I mean, Prius can do it.
The North Pole is not solid.
Okay, I don't know. You're one of these people who just believes what scientists tell you.
There's a whole ocean there called the Arctic Ocean.
Oh, yeah. The continent's on the south. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, the continent's on the south. That's all water. I mean, there's ice for sure, but not for long.
If it left in winter, it would all be frozen.
Maybe. I don't know if a Prius could. I mean, if anyone might give it a shot, it would be Randy Quaid.
I mean, if anyone would be worth losing to find out, it'd be Randy Quaid.
I mean, even a Prius does need gas, and there's no gas stations, I think, between somewhere in North Canada and by the time you get to Siberia. You would run out of gas, even in a Prius, before you got there.
Amazing that all of a sudden you forget that Dennis Quaid is Randy Quaid's
might
brother.
Have a trunk. He might have gasoline left from when he bought and have garbage bags full of it.
Yeah, last time we had a crisis, he bought a couple garbage bags full. But yeah, usually like if your brother was like that, like you think Dennis Quaid would be getting blowback by that, or like you just forget, oh yeah, your brother's completely normal.
In my research, Dennis Quaid and he had a pretty big falling out.
I can imagine. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Dennis Quaid is no champion of good personhood.
I know nothing about Dennis Quaid. I mean...
Yeah, he's not great.
Who is great?
John Goodman.
Yeah. You know, it'd be great. A combination, John Goodham. And it's John Goodman's like everything about him, his whole aura, his whole essence, and then boom, in John Hamm.
I like John Hamm's essence and aura also. Like, I mean,
but he doesn't come off like John. But I like John Goodman comes off like your dad.
Here's the way I would like John Goodham to exist.
Yeah,
is if you did make a John Goodham, but you didn't take away John Goodman or John Hamm. You just added a John Goodham.
You just took the best of each. So there's three of them, and then you remake Three Men and a Baby with John Hamm, John Goodham, and John Goodman.
Well, I was more thinking like it could be closer to like a junior situation with like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, where like or like twins, more like a twins scenario where like there was you make them in a lab and you mix them together, and then you have one good John Goodham and one bad one, like John Hamm Man.
Hamm John Good.
There's John Goodham and John Hamm Man. We can start a quirky new wave band.
I bet you if we did start a band called John Goodham, and in our first video we asked John Goodman and John Hamm to be in it, they would be in it.
Well, I'm sure they would be in any video that we asked them to be in. Why haven't we asked them to be in our videos?
Because the band John Goodham doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, okay, so we need to make a band and then they would do it. That's what's holding it back. That's what's stopping John Goodman and John Hamm from being in our videos.
In our music video.
We don't have a band named John Goodham.
And we don't have a music video.
Okay, that's probably right. That's probably it. I don't think we're going to top the John Goodham, John... And John...
It broke your brain.
Hamm Man. Yeah, it did.
John Hamm.
Click. Help, I'm drowning.
I need an adult.
John Goodham, where are you? He could be like, now he's like Michael Landon in A Highway to Heaven, and he goes around helping people.
It'd be great. Michael Landham.
Or Hamland.
Michael Hamland.
We're doing great here. This is all staying in.
We're doing great. This is the podcast is now, being hams with Lilith and Amanda. Yeah. Welcome to Being Hams with Lilith and Amanda. I'm Lilith, that's Amanda. Today we're going to merge other celebrities with John Hamm's DNA and see what we come up with.
You want to take a break or do a question?
Tom Hanks. He's Tom Hanks with John Hamm.
That's Tom Hanks. That's John Goodman and Tom Arnold put together, right?
Oh, why are we putting Tom Arnold in this?
Because I love Tom Arnold. You don't love Tom Arnold? Tom Arnold's one of the funniest men who have ever lived. Did you see The Stupids? It's maybe the best movie ever made. I'm going to show a picture of it.
It's like, you're not a fan of this person? Here's this dumb movie they were in. You didn't love that? All right, I'm setting this to share screen, so I hope this is worth staying. This is staying in the. I think it's good. Well, I mean, we're going to have to cut all the space out because I wasn't prepared for this. But who was prepared to talk about The Stupids with Tom Arnold?
I wasn't, but I'm so glad we are because it's such a good movie. This is the movie poster. Tom Arnold is stupid. Right at the top. Him wearing you can only describe that as one of those politician hats.
It's a straw hat.
From like the 1980s.
Yeah, that's a straw hat.
It says the tagline is, "We put the dumb back in stupid." Stanley Stupid, the stupid. And it shows his like stupid family down at the bottom, and it's this obnoxious bright yellow with red letters. It's great. It's one of the best movie posters I've ever seen. And the movie itself also is hilarious. I strongly recommend The Stupids with Tom Arnold. And honestly, I recommend anything with Tom Arnold in it because he is surprisingly hilarious. People think he was lame for reasons I'm not even sure why, because I have never had an encounter with Tom Arnold.
He's
like,
lame.
In any sort of TV or movie that wasn't absolutely hilarious.
He's lame because he was like a middling stand-up comic who got famous marrying Roseanne Barr and kind of rode that to fame, and they were just obnoxious together. They were just obnoxious. He's not that funny.
But he was funny. And he still is funny. And then he divorced her before she went super crazy.
Well, that's
so you can't hold that against him. And if he did that, like if he did it for the fame, I don't think that was the case. I think they generally loved each other, and they generally they were in a genuine loving relationship.
I don't doubt any of that. I just don't think he's funny.
Well, when's the last time you saw something with him in it?
I specifically avoid stuff with him in it because I don't think he's funny.
Yeah, but how would you know if you haven't seen it? Like, that's what I'm saying.
That is the worst logic.
I guess it kind of is pretty bad. All I know is I love Tom Arnold, and I think he's great.
Okay, well, maybe he'll sponsor the podcast, or at least, the right half of the podcast. Well, hey, you know what? You ready to hop into a question?
I am.
Well, it's basically, how'd you guys come out to your parents? So this person is 21, female to male, thinking of coming out to my parents. My mom tries to understand LGBT stuff, but it is very uneducated. My dad is more against the community, or at least made uncomfortable by it. They're still funding me financially as I go through a master's in medical bills. I'm so tired of just living in stealth to my parents. My circle where I live away from them now all know, but I've never said anything to my parents before. I'm scared they'll cut contact. I'll be left homeless without medication, and I'll be able to stay in my current situation whilst doing studies. I want to hear your stories. How did you come out? How did you expect them to react, and how did they actually react?
All right. Yeah. It's a tough one. My situation was, it's a 3-part question. So after I came out to my roommate, I sat and I made a plan about like, okay, now how am I going to come out? And so what I did is I thought about it. I was like, okay, well, I came out to my roommate, who's the person that was like living with me and closest to me at the time. It's like, well, the next circle to come out to is like, I kind of like thought of it like that. So that was the closest person to me. Then like outwards from there, like, okay, so the next circle would be, I was doing a podcast at the time, and I was like, well, I'll tell all my podcast co-hosts, like that's the next thing to do. Mm-hmm. And so like that was the next group of people that I told. I did that. I tried to do as much in person as I could, but it wasn't always possible to do it in person. So then it was that. And then after that, it was like my band, because I was in a band. I was like, okay, I got to tell them. And so I told them when they came up, and like they were cool and everything was cool. Then after that, it was like, okay, now it's kind of time to figure out my parents and what we were going to do about that. Fortunately for me, I had come out in late October, like the week of Halloween. Like it was only a few days before Halloween. And Ian and I had plans to have Thanksgiving at our house, and his family and my family was both coming to visit and have Thanksgiving at the place. And so I was like, well, I could call them up on the phone and tell them this, or I could just wait till they get here. So that's what I decided to do. So I decided to wait the 4 weeks until Halloween, until Thanksgiving rolled around and they came. And my plan was initially to tell them at Thanksgiving while they were there. That didn't work at all because everyone just got shit canned, drunk, and wasted. And like I was like, okay, this is not the time. Like this is not the time at all. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell them in the morning. So I asked Ian. I was like, hey, Ian, in the morning, do you think my parents are gonna come over? We're gonna go out for breakfast, but can you give us like, maybe a little space so I can do this in private and tell my family. And they came over there, and it was everyone in my family but one of my sisters who was abroad. She was in England, and so it was both my parents and my sister and my brother, who was still alive at the time. And they came over, and I just told them. I just sat them down. I was like, I took a deep breath, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, family, I'm trans." And I knew my parents and my family well enough to know that I wasn't gonna get too blasted for it. I figured they were gonna, I knew they would be accepting, but I didn't know the degree, and also you never really know. You're never really sure. Even the people that you think you can most trust, that you're absolutely certain that you can tell and that they'll be okay and even supportive, you don't know. Sometimes they're not. And that was definitely the case with my other sister, the one who was abroad, and we still have issues about it. But I told them, and I kind of got the best reaction anyone could, which was my mom. Just her initial reaction was, "I love you." And then she wrote me a check for $1,700.
Oh, man.
Well, how can we help? And then she got her checkbook out. She just wrote me a check. I was like, I didn't need that, but I'm not gonna not take it. I can. That should be
that's the new standard. If you come out to your parents, they have to yell they love you and write you a check for $1,700. It's called the Amanda code.
Yeah, but then after the initial reaction, then came the questions, and a lot of the standard fare that you get asked by your cis parents and by cis people that you come out to that don't really know a whole lot about it, and they didn't. That was essentially my coming out to my parents' experience. Yeah. Now, understand, I am extremely fortunate in that regard, and even knowing that my parents were going to be accepting, it was still incredibly difficult.
Oh yeah, it's so stressful.
And
it's the unknown.
The sad part about it is the vast majority, I don't know but definitely the majority of trans people that do come out to their parents, it's not taken well, and it's varying degrees of scrutiny. And
I've never seen anything that talked about the vast majority. I think there are definitely problems.
Not the vast majority, but I also the majority. I'd say more than half.
There are great stories of people who are supported, and so in situations like this, I totally understand your trepidation. And I always tell everyone, it's you move forward at your pace, and you know the situation better than anyone you're asking for. And if you're not living at home and you feel you're dependent on your parents and you can do that because they don't see you as much, then you should do that. But whenever you're ready is when you do that.
That's the exact right advice.
Yeah. That's funny you mentioned. Well, first of all, I got to talk about this $1,700. So when I got divorced, my mom said, she was like, well, I'll send you some money to help for the divorce. And she never sent any money. And I went through the divorce. Then a year, 2 years later, I'm back home, and she's talking about something and giving money to my other sibling. She's like, well, I gave you that money for the divorce. I'm like, you never gave me anything. And she pulls out her checkbook and she looks it up and doesn't find. It's like, oh yeah, you're right. And then just puts the checkbook away. And I was like, oh,
that's nice.
Okay. I guess here we are.
Great.
So I mean, a part of me has a little thing, because I didn't transition until 2018, but I kind of came out in 2015 as gender fluid, gender queer. I was had this other, for lack of a better term, persona that I would perform as, that I would be out as, and that everyone anyone who followed me on social media knew about it, even though I hadn't come out as trans. It was just where I was, and I was figuring stuff out myself, because I had been what you would define in my whole life a cross-dresser, and that's because that's the only word I knew to describe that. And so I was just kind of continuing that, and didn't even consider, thought I was too old to transition. Anyway, I started in April 2018. The first people I told were my roommates just the night before I went to the doctor. I'm like, hey, this is happening. And then I just kind of told people as I felt comfortable, and kind of used the months leading up to that summer is a dry run. So if I was talking to and I just felt in the moment I should tell them, I had a lot of close friends that I told. And then in summer 2018, I was going on a huge road trip, and I was basically just going to tell the world on Facebook and then I was going to go on this road trip and just ghost from Richmond for a month where I was living, and it worked out for me.
Fine decision.
But before I did that, I had individual calls with my family members. My father's already passed away, and talked to my younger siblings and my all of them are younger, but my 2 youngest ones, then my brother, and then I talked to my mom last and told them, and it went fine at the time. I don't know if my mom really understands what's going on, but I explained it to her and let her know, and now I don't talk to anyone. Yeah. It wasn't like that. Here's the weird thing is, I do advocacy work for Equality Virginia, where I go out and I talk to groups about the trans experience and how they can support, it might be a medical center or a youth group, how they can support trans patrons and stuff. And part of my story was I came out to my family and didn't really have those negative repercussions. Then like I said, 2 years later, it kind of hit the fan, and I'm fine with that. But for me, it was scary, but also I think it's scary for anyone anytime you have big news and you don't know how they're going to react. But if you feel like you're ready, you have to live your own life on your terms. And the other thing I was scared about is, my best friends are people I went to college with. And these are people I've known for almost 30 years when I'm coming out. And so I always tell this because I think this is more uplifting than the family story. So I texted my 2 best friends from college. I was like, hey, I'd had phone calls with my family all week. I'm like, guys, I don't have the energy to do this individually with you guys, but you probably noticed on social media the last 3 years that I'm queer as fuck. And I've started hormones and I'm transitioning. And one of my friends texted back an amazing message that, all the stuff I'd been through since I'd gotten divorced and seeing therapy for myself and seeing how I'd changed my life, and not just with regards to transition. I made a lot of other changes in my life, inspired him to see a therapist and make changes in his own life. And he's in a much healthier spot than he was. And that, this is the first time I ever talked about that without crying. I was crying when I was reading that text, and it really was emotional. I just realized that, it can be tough. And, we always say there are going to be people who are in your friend group now who aren't going to accept you. There's going to be family members who don't accept you. And your choice is, do I want to continue being miserable and have these people in my life? Or do I want my life to be good and bring the people along who want me to be happy? And that's really what it is. If if you want to stay miserable so your uncle comes to your family cookouts and doesn't give you shit, then don't transition. But if you want to be happy, you have to do what's going to make you happy. You have a hormone imbalance, and you have to take care of that. And that'd be I have a heart condition, but I'm not seeing medical service because my uncle thinks that people who get heart transplants or get treated for heart disease are weird. And so I didn't get my heart disease treated. It's a medical condition. You're going to take care of it. I would say, go in and prepare for the worst, but also, the worst probably isn't going to happen. I think if
the worst probably isn't going to happen.
If you prepare yourself for the worst and then it's just bad, you'll realize that you can survive it. And if the worst does happen, you'll be ready for it. Yeah, you were all ready for it.
Well, I had, from when I first came out, I had a good 8.5 hours to figure out what I was going to say and just to stew on it by myself. And and of course your brain goes to the worst places, and and I was just a sniveling ball of snot and tears by the time Ian got home from work, and I actually told him. But it was just I was a wreck. And then when I did tell him, and I had planned it all. I was like, this is what I'm going to say. This is how I'm going to say it. And the time came, and I just blurted it out so inelegantly, barely a complete sentence, through tears and snot. Blah, blah.
You had this whole cinematic vision of your Oscar-winning monologue, and none of it worked.
Well, then he just looked at me and was like, okay, is that it? I thought you had cancer or something. Yeah. Who cares? It was congratulations. Yeah. It was one of those things where it was oh, shit. And then it immediately was weird because of how not weird it was.
Right.
And hopefully it's when you're going down the response.
You're going down the stairs and you miss a step, or you think you're at the bottom step and you hit a step that you didn't think was there, and it's jarring. That's what it's like. You're prepared to hit the ground, and suddenly it's just oh, I just stepped down and it was fine. I think I got helped by coming out, as genderqueer beforehand, and everyone knew I was kind of like on my own thing. And all my friends, like the people I told, they were people that I like chose to tell them because I felt we had that kind of relationship. When I put it on Facebook, I basically just, anyone else found out on Facebook, and I was like, hey, my name's Lilith now. I use she, her pronouns. If you don't want to respect that's cool. We don't have to be friends anymore. And I got no negative vibes from that. No negativity from me. There are people I haven't talked to. I don't know if that's why. And I also just kind of like disappear when I'm done. So there are people who I don't talk to. Like, do I not talk to them because like they're against my transition, or do I talk to them because they're not in my life right now, and I really don't make that effort? And
that's the thing is like it's a weird thing because like you do, but just naturally the process of aging and time kind of diminishes your friend circle as you get older. Also like. It's as with anything transitioning, like it's such a gradual, slow process, and it's so all encompassing and so gargantuan that like it's impossible to separate anything and to divide anything. Like it's just too all encompassing. And so it's like, well, is it because I transitioned that I don't talk to that person anymore? Or is it because I just don't talk to that person anymore? Because like how many other people before you transition do you not talk to? Like it's just what happens over time. And so it's like, well, it could be that or it could be that. Is that the hormones? Is it the hormones are the reason that this is happening, or is it because I'm turned 45? Like, it's like, which one is it?
Just put that out there too. If someone has some shit to say, you don't have to engage with them or talk to them or listen to their opinion at all. Like
that's also true.
But that's not your parents.
You don't have to justify your existence to anybody.
Specifically about your parents. I know you didn't ask for advice, but my advice would be if you feel like your parents are paying for your life and you have to graduate school first, I don't see anything wrong with not telling them.
I agree.
Until you feel ready. And it's the unknown. But for me, it's about, it just came to a time where it's like, well, this is what I'm doing, so I'm going to let you know. But you're in a different position. I was like a 47-year-old person who had a job and health insurance and been on my own and all that kind of stuff. You're in a different place. And so,
well, and that's the thing is like, it is different for everybody. And you do have to ultimately make that decision of how you're going to do it and how. And if how long you want to wait, like, because for a lot of people, it's like, if you do have things riding on it, that like it's like you have to weigh the risk benefit. You have to run it through the cost benefit analysis machine, and like if it comes up positive, then you do it, and if it comes up negative, then you don't.
They're getting a master's,
and only you can make that call. And there's nothing wrong with keeping it secret for as long as you feel like you need to. You have to do it when you're ready, just like Lilith said.
They're getting a master's, so I'm just going to assume they're getting a master's in like a high-paying field, and like they won't have money problems in like 4 years.
That's a big assumption in America.
You assume they might not be in America.
I was a bartender for 20 years, and I met plenty of people working right next to me that had master's degrees. So I'm not going to say
being a bartender played pretty well, though, didn't it?
It paid all right. I wouldn't call it not enough to cover the cost of a master's degree.
Mom and Dad are paying for the master's.
Just saying. Like, I hope that I'm wrong.
Let's send that out there to this.
That master's degree that's just gonna fucking get paid.
Put it out to that person right now. You're getting your master's. You're gonna be in like such a great place with your master's.
You're gonna be great.
Your master's in money generation.
Everything you want.
Yeah. The master's in being rich. Like that's the best master's to get. That's the best one to get. Yeah, it's like master's in English, history, philosophy, being rich, making money. Rolling on 22s.
I take a class in being rich.
Do they teach you how to be rich or just how to act if you have money? Like,
no, I want to teach. I want to be rich. I'm not interested in pretending to be rich.
I'm just saying, like, if the class is called How to Be Rich, are they teaching you how to make the money to be rich, or are they just teaching you how to be a rich person?
Well, I guess I'll have to do a little research into the class.
Yeah, I guess
take the one that teaches you how to be rich and not how to walk through life being a complete fraud.
Being rich, like this is how you.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's like it's worked for some ex-presidents.
Let's take a couple seconds and we come back. You got some meme divers for us?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break. Y'all take a break. Go get yourself a snacky snack and a drink and maybe a juice box or something. And when you come back, we'll have Meme Diver. Welcome back, everyone. Girl, what do you got for us?
Meme Diver.
I know that song.
That's Meme Diver.
That's Meme Diver.
That's Meme Diver song. The theme to Meme Diver. Meme Diver is a segment on Being Trans with Lilith and Amanda where we talk about memes and we discuss memes and we value and appraise these memes in Elon Musk fun bucks and Zucker coins. And later, once the memes are appraised, we place them on our website, legitnft.horse. You can go to legitnft.horse and there you will find all of these memes for sale as NFTs, and you will find them. I think they start as low as $400, or was it 4,000? I'd have to check.
It depends.
The
really
go up from there based on their value, but understand that every NFT you purchase from legitnft.horse is an investment and is guaranteed to go up in value.
Jerry from Legal just wanted me to top in and say guarantee is not guaranteed.
Yeah, but Jerry from Legal is not real, and it is a guarantee. It's guaranteed to go up in value. That's the real. Jerry's not real. The meme value going up, that's guaranteed. That's real.
Jerry is as real as that guarantee.
That's fair. That's fair. I accept that. Starting out with our first meme.
Yeah, hit me.
3 white police officers, 2 male and 1 female. And in the lower left corner is like a kind of a Dadaist Salvador Dali-ish McDonald's logo, but it's McDonald's. And it's only got like 1 arch, and the sticker's peeling, and it's got an earring, and it's pretty good logo actually. I really like it.
It's pretty good. The single arches, yeah.
And so it says, and then there's a tagline on it. It's 3 police officers who look to be in a McDonald's, and the middle guy. They're all just shit-eating smiles. Like
so proud, so proud of what they're doing.
Who are you going to call when you have the from but can't are going do? I'll say that again.
Yeah. Who
are you going to call when you have the from but can't are going do?
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Can I you're more of a meme expert than I am. So is this like a new meme thing where the kind of like the words don't make sense?
I wouldn't say new. This is an older meme. This meme comes from my personal meme vault, and so this meme is at least 3 years old.
Okay. I'm just seeing more of this lately.
Well, this has been a staple in memes for quite some time, and I think the shift into kind of more Dadaist memes such as this kind of happened, I'd say about 5 years ago or so. It's an indication of the Zoomers kind of coming of age, and this is more Zoomer humor than it is for where the millennial humor was a little more straightforward and like a lot more like base and depravity and the hopelessness of life.
I'm here for it.
Take it to the next level of absurdity. The Zoomers is embracing their doom and just like fuck it.
Yeah.
I think memes have always had, at least in my opinion, as far back as I can remember, memes were always absurd. And it seemed like bad English and bad spelling were hallmarks of memes since memes were a thing. But now the difference with this meme as of other memes of a similar vein where the spelling's bad. This is a very high res meme. Mm-hmm. This is a very the photograph is very clean, and the graphic design is borderline impeccable. Like it's very clean and very well put together. Things are spaced out. They obviously adhered to the rule of thirds. Mm-hmm. The logo is expertly crafted.
I love that logo.
And a very high resolution. Now, I generally tend to give extra points for low resolution because I appreciate it. But in this case, like many things with regards to taste, being in the middle and being milquetoast is going to get you the least. If you go one direction or the other, as long as you own it. And I feel like this meme owns the high res. Now you asked about like the wording, but I want to talk about that logo a little bit because that logo
brilliant.
down there, it's a brilliant logo. McDonald's. Yeah, and I would say that like I've seen other ones like another counterpart to this is Kurger
Bing.
If you've ever seen the Kurger Bing memes, it's like it's very well maybe the same meme crafter. No one knows. Like that's one of the beauty of memes is it tends to be. And you just cut it all of them with Banksy. In fact, I think I might start doing that on legit NFT.horse is giving a ball to Banksy.
Yeah.
But in any case, that's what we've got here. That's our meme. That's all there is to it, folks. Yeah. There is no more than this. It's just a pure Dadaist meme. And I am going to rate this personally. I'm going to give it 3.5 Elon Musk fun bucks, and I'm going to give it 2 Zucker coins.
You know, I love this. First of all, I love it because it reminds me of one of my favorite things is when they were talking about defunding the police, and it's like, well, if you defund the police, who are you going to call to shrug their shoulders when your car gets stolen? And it's like,
I think this is from that exact era. Yeah, if I recall, I think this is from the summer of 2020. And that's when this meme came about. Also, and it was exactly during all that defund the police talk. And this is the result of that. Yes. Yeah. Who are you going to call when you have the from but can't are going to? McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah. And then another thing of these, I don't want to make judgments of these cops in this thing, but they're probably, they look like their haircuts tell me they're conservative assholes. Yeah, they're cops. But I was cops. Like, conservative dudes of this ilk, when they start losing their hair, like, if you just grow your hair a little longer, you won't look like you're losing your hair. It's not like they're bald. But if you got a little shaggy on top, you'd look fine. It's just
here's the I disagree with that.
I don't doing here. Like this dude. I
think male pattern baldness can be handled in a number of graceful ways, and I think I think it depends on the person. The key is like confidence. The key is owning it. It's when you try to pretend like you're not losing your hair, that's when it starts looking silly.
But just letting it grow to like a normal length is not fine. I mean, these guys clearly have confidence issues already.
That's a normal length for a shitty ass cop.
Cops. They already have confidence issues. They just they wanted a job where they could take out all their
buzz cuts, super short hair,
male rage on other people. And so they already have issues.
I don't know for sure that they're white supremacists, but roll the dice and the odds come up that.
Well, let me tell you, it's like, if you work with white supremacists and you don't say anything about it, you're a white supremacist. So yeah, maybe these are the 3 good cops who had off all the summer of 2020.
That's a big maybe.
They had the whole. They ate an Egg McMuffin and got some sort of stomach ailment. But I love this. This is a classic Lilith 4 Twitter fun bucks and 4 Zucker coins. I love it.
I love that. I love that. Great score there. Here we got a new meme.
This hits me at every level. Love it.
There's another meme which is actually just a Craigslist ad. So I'll read it to you. So this is in Lakewood, which, if I'm right, that's Lake Steilacoom. So that's Washington State. Yeah. Lakewood is a kind of a suburb of Tacoma in the state of Washington. It's a city between Seattle and Olympia. It's a surprisingly big city that no one really knows about, talks about, or goes to. It's an anomaly in the way that, it exists, and there's probably more people in Tacoma than on several cities that have professional sports teams.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people, and it's a very big city, and it just completely overshadowed because Seattle's right there, and Seattle gets all the glory. But like, in any case, Lakewood is just south of Tacoma, and it's largely known as the cruddy part. It's been long associated with trashiness, and this particular ad in Facebook is not helping that cause.
This is great.
Free overnight babysitter, Lakewood. Looking for someone to come to my house while my kids are sleeping from 11:30 p.m. and get them up and on the bus at 7:45 a.m.
Okay.
I can't pay you.
Oh, I don't like that.
But you can rent a room for $850 plus $60 internet if it's more convenient for you. You have to be available to stay home from work if one of them is sick and can't go to school. I will not compensate you. We are loud in this house, so you'll have to deal with it. Shared shower in the main bathroom.
I know we're laughing because this is ridiculous, but honestly, I see so many of these.
I know.
There's so many people just like want you to watch their kids, or they'll be like, I can pay you $100 a week to watch my kids for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And it's like, so you want to pay me $2 an hour to watch your kids? Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
I know, it's insane. Also, like, that's insane. But what kind of parent is going to hire someone who's just going to work for nothing?
I don't know what any of the
this is like
stuff like this.
This is like an advertisement for a serial killer.
It really is.
I'm going to go to work at 11:30 tonight. Who wants to spend time alone with my kids? I'm not going to pay you. It's like a fucking John Wayne Gacy's there. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what's going through the mind of this particular poster. That whole attitude of I want someone to do is so pervasive. It's such a staple now of our culture with the whole no one wants to work thing, where it's like, this is the reason no one wants to work. It's like,
no one wants to work for you.
Like this. It's like, why would anyone do this? No one sane that's not a pedophile that likes to take advantage of children would be interested in this offer at all.
Yeah.
Like, $850 is not a good price in a bad part of town for a room in a house, and to boot a shared bathroom with this fucktwat.
And we are loud in this house.
Yeah, and we are loud, so you'll have to deal with it.
Who is we? How many people are in this house?
Oh, and also, since I'm not paying you, you'll definitely have to have a job on top of this, but you can't go to that job if one of my kids is sick. And we all know how jobs work in the United States of America.
They love it. If your kids are sick,
anyone at any time can just not go into work, and it's never a problem ever for anyone. So anyone could do this.
Yeah, I mean, if your kids are sick, they're more than happy to let you have the time off.
I can't come into work today, sir. My roommate's children are sick.
Part of my agreement to pay $850 a month to live here is that, I have to miss when their kids are sick.
How long is 11:30 to 7:45? I mean, that's more than 8
hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, so it's like I have to work a full-time shift for nothing to afford an $850.
And you have to get those kids up.
And it takes priority over the job that actually pays me money.
And you gotta feed those kids. I mean, it doesn't say it in here, but I assume the assumption is you get them kids and on the bus that you also got to get them breakfast. No, screw it. Yeah.
The whole thing is insane. The whole thing is bonkers.
The first couple ones of these I saw on the internet always made me laugh, and now they just make me more depressed. One Zucker coin.
It is pretty sad, actually, the sad state of affairs of this country. And it's like, oh, I didn't really want to go there, but it kind of just takes you there, doesn't it?
I tell you what, this
drags you along, kicking and screaming into just deep depression.
Here's my assessment of this: 0 Zucker coins, but if you want to buy it, you can pay me $850 a month to live in my spare bedroom and have the meme as part of that.
I don't want anyone near my house or my life with that would be interested in anything remotely like this. I am going to rate this meme. It's hard to appraise it because it's not really a meme. It's really literally just an ad.
Yeah.
And I want to give it a high because it's a window into like the degradation of our society and our culture.
The era we live in.
But I can't give it a lot. I think I'm going to give it one Elon Musk fun bucks.
Okay.
One and zero Zucker coins. I'm going to give it just a 1.
I'm gonna say
sadness because now I'm sad. It was funny and now I'm sad.
So my assessment, like I said, $0. If you can bring a pick, you gotta haul it away yourself. That you gotta come here with your pickup truck and pick this meme up. I'm not gonna ship it to you. You gotta come get it.
Oh no, I've got it. Yeah. There will be no cost for this meme, but you yourself have to make it into the NFT. You can go to legitnft.horse and you can pay us $400 for the rights to make this into an NFT.
NFT rights.
For $400, you can make this into an NFT yourself. But
the meme is yours for free.
I think that's
the rights
right
to
there,
the NFT. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Perfect. This is
perfect for someone like Randy Quaid.
Yeah. People don't want to work. It's like, well, no one wants to work at your shitty restaurant where
people don't want to be exploited. Yeah. That's what people don't want to do.
Or when you have 1,000 rules. It's like, I'm working at your restaurant. I don't need rules.
You're right. No one ever wanted to work. Work sucks.
Right. That's my thing. People are like, what's your dream job? It's like,
work.
You
don't want to work either.
I've never dreamed about work. I don't have dreams about doing work.
I do, but they're nightmares.
They're called nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we had a great show today. I feel like we had a great conversation about coming out to your parents. And let me tell you, just our hearts are with you. The whole community's with you. When you feel that tough decision, realize you're doing the best thing for you. And you're making your life what you want it to be. And also, McDonald's. McDonald's it's right up there. I love that. And, we had a great time. We spotted some turkeys. We
caught 2 turkeys.
One of them on the first shot.
One of them on the first shot.
I'll tell you what, man. We got our spread for Thanksgiving right now. We're gonna throw down. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending time with us. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.